and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Take Home the Bronzer Anti-Orange Bronzer in the shade Oliver. I received this in my October Ipsy subscription and I've been using this for a good couple of weeks now. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this product. I'm going to show you some swatches as compared to other bronzers. I'm going to apply it as I currently don't have any bronzer or blush on right now. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts on this product. So for all of that, there's going to be timestamps down below. So if you just want to skip ahead to the swatches or my thoughts on it, you can do that. Let's also say I need to get my hair done. My roots are really coming in very white. But let's just ignore that for today's video. I'm not gonna wear a hat or anything to cover it up, and I've run out of my root spray. There's this really good sort of like root spray to just cover up for the day that I've used. I did a review and I don't link that down below. But anyway, today we are talking about the bronzer. So this is from the Balm. I've talked about the Balm before. They have a full range of makeup. They are sort of Sephora level prices, although here in Canada they're not sold in Sephora. They're sold in our Shoppers Drug Mart locations that have sort of the higher end makeup section. They're maybe a touch less expensive than stuff at Sephora, but kind of that level of pricing. The company was founded by a woman named Marissa. It is all sort of about making yourself feel good and, kind of kitschy little things like this, anti-orange bronzer in the shade Oliver. They just all have sort of cutesy packaging, like their matte lipsticks are all about shades of like guys named Matt with different last names. I've talked about the Balm before, so I will link another video down below where I talk a little bit more about the company and the brand itself. I will say the one thing that bothers me a little bit, and I mentioned this before, is if they're all about like making you feel good and, all of that empowerment kind of stuff. They have a palette called the Nude Tude palette, which is sort of a partner with the Nude Dude palette. And the Nude Dude one all has shade names that are adjectives that are all pretty positive, and that one is around little sort of guys in the palette. And the Nude Tude one has like little women in the palette, and it's all adjectives that start with S, but they also have like selfish and snobby in there. I don't understand how you are a company that mostly markets to women. You talk about being about, making yourself feel good. How good are you going to feel having a palette open with not very nice descriptors of women sitting in front of you? But that's all I'm going to say about the company. So let's talk about this product. This does come in 3 different shades. This is the lightest of the 3. If you buy this, it's going to set you back $17.50 in the US. This is, of course, a sample, so you do get a good sized pan if you buy the full version of it. The website doesn't have a huge description of this bronzer. It says, our collection of bronzers deserves a standing ovation, with the word tan capitalized in there. Sweep this bronzer across cheeks and forehead for a natural sun-kissed look, or add drama by using it as a contouring powder. Formulate to avoid orange undertones. However you brush on this bronzer, you'll always be golden. The other thing that I'll mention is this is talc-free. The first ingredient on here is mica. There are some people who are sensitive to talc. There are others who see talc as being sort of a filler ingredient. This is talc-free. This is also cruelty-free. I think that is everything I have to say about them. What I will do now is show you the swatches of this bronzer. So I've done some swatches here. The first one is our Take Home the bronzer from the Balm, and right next to it is the Bahama Mama bronzer, also from the Balm. And I quite like both of these. They look very similar, but this one pulls a little bit more pink, I find. I'll also mention that it took like 4 really good finger swatches to get it up to this level of pigment. So as I mentioned, this is Bahama Mama by the Balm. Next to it is the Ciate Bamboo bronzer in the shade Palm Island. And you can see that both of these pull quite a bit more orange than the ones from the Balm. Next to it here is Pure's Mineral Bronzer, which I only needed to do, I think, 1 finger swipe to get this amount. So, yep, this is the bronzer as compared to some others. Okay, now let's get to putting this on my face. So I'll just zoom you in a tiny little bit so we can be a little closer to each other. So I have been using this bronzer, as I said, for about 2 weeks, and I found the way that I like to apply it. A lot of times you'll put on bronzer with a big fluffy brush so you can sort of disperse it and make it look, you know, bronzed. I find that works really well when you have a deep bronzer or contour shade for that matter, and you really need to sort of fluff it out. For this bronzer, I find that it is very light pigment, but buildable in a really nice way. And because of that, I've been finding that I really enjoy using sort of a smaller fluffy brush. This is actually a Luxie Precision foundation brush. It's a little bit flatter, but still sort of fluffy. And because of that, I can sort of put it right where I want it to be, and it doesn't look like a streak of bronzer. It gives me a chance to blend a little bit, but really I just need to pat this on and build it up because it doesn't need a lot of blending because it's not super pigmented. Now that I've said all of that, I'm just going to tap into here, and you can see I tap in fairly heavily, knock it off a little bit, and I'll just go ahead and apply. So you can see I can kind of keep it right where I want it to be, just sort of a nice bronze shade there. And I've also been enjoying carrying this up onto my temples to really make it look like I have some sun, even though it is freezing cold here in Ottawa. And I feel like on this side you get a better idea. It sort of looked like it came out like a streak on the other side, but here you can see a bit more what it looks like. I maybe tapped in a little bit hard on the other side to start with, in that it just sort of creates a nice bronzing look. Maybe because there's more light coming in on this side, but this is more naturally what it looks like in regular lighting. Again, I'll carry this onto my forehead, just, you know, tapping and blending there. I'm putting this over top of the Makeup Forever HD Invisible Cover Foundation, which I've discovered I love so much. I'll link that video down below as well. That's just set with a little bit of translucent powder. And I will sometimes do just a little bit, you know, along my jawline to give some definition there. But you can see how it's sort of warmed up and given some definition to my face. It is wonderfully matte. So right now I have, you know, it's a dewy foundation, but I set it with powder, and then the bronzer is very matte. So I've been enjoying using this with a brighter blush. So I've been using this Laura Geller bronzer in Baked Blush and Brighten, the shade Tropic Hues. And again, this is a sort of build it up kind of blush, which keeps me from making terrible mistakes. What I have also found that I really like for a quick go-to makeup look that is just easy and on the go is I can just take a fluffy brush right into here, and I'm just going to use a little bit just to define the crease on my lids. I don't have any eyeshadow on, I put on a bit of mascara already, and it just gives a nice, very natural definition, and for a number of days I've just been using only this as eyeshadow. There we go, just a very nice natural kind of look. Now I just need some setting spray and I'm ready to go. So as far as my review of this, I feel like you can probably tell already that I really like this. I also really liked the Balm's Bahama Mama bronzer. I just find this one pulls a little bit more pink, which I like. Just looks a little bit more natural on me. I really like these buildable kinds of bronzers and contour powders that give me a chance to not make mistakes, you know, and kind of get it to where I want it to be without trying to be really light-handed with the product. I'm enjoying the warmth of it that it gives. I think the tone of it is really nice. I think the creamy matteness of this is really nice. It's just exactly what I want a bronzer to be. So if you've had sort of maybe trouble finding something that doesn't pull orange, or you want something that lets you do just the right amount of bronzer, this might be a good one to look at. And I'm going to keep enjoying using this both as a bronzer and as an eyeshadow, and perfect for travel in that way that I can have a two-in-one. So that is my review of this product. I am curious if you agree. Have you used Balm bronzers? what you think of that. Let me know, put it in the comments down below. I do respond to every comment that I get. This is maybe your last chance. If you are watching this before 2018, November 7th, that was a weird way of saying that date, before November 7th in 2018, and you have not yet entered my 2,500 subscriber giveaway, I'll put the link for that down below. Go and do what you need to do to be entered in that, because the draw is coming in the next 2 days from when I post this. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, my face will pop up there. Click on it to be subscribed. I'll put another video down here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.